Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with a gentleman from the Army Corps of Engineers, Mr. Mike Linville. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit down with you. You know, before we came on, Philip and I were kind of reminiscing a little bit back about, being out at some of the parks and doing whitetails, Amityville and some of the other locations, Holiday Park, and it's always a great place to come out and tape a show. But today we brought you in to the studio to do taping. Mike, before we get started, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm originally from Iowa. I've been living in Georgia for about 3 years now, and I moved down here for this position. Okay. And it's been a blessing ever since I came down here. It's really just the best job in the world.
Well, very good. When you said Iowa and you said you're moving out for this job, because my next question is going to be, what brought you to LaGrange? Okay.
Yes, sir. To have a job like this, you got to be willing to move wherever it's at.
Absolutely. So, look, talking about your job, you're a park ranger. Talk a little bit about some of your roles and your responsibilities.
Sure. At West Point Lake, a lot of my role has to do with being outside, of course, which is the most fun part of the job. But here at West Point, I do our special events program, and I run our social media as well as our day use parks.
Oh, okay, very good. And you moved here been with Parks and Rec here, Parks, about 4 years now, right?
I've been with the Corps for a total of about 4 years. Okay. Here in Georgia, I've been here about 3.
About 3 years, okay. Let me ask you, coming from Iowa and now being in Georgia, and I'm sure you were here during that heat wave we had. How does it compare to Iowa?
It's exactly what people say. It's different.
It's different.
We have heat in Iowa. With it being so flat, I think it just cooks. But the heat down here is different. It's something to get used to.
Cooks and bake, right?
That's right.
Cooks and bake. Well, we're glad that you're here. And then being out around the water, I'm sure sometimes you kind of get a little breeze or the relaxation of being out there as well.
Absolutely. The lake definitely cools down the area. The air coming off the water is a little bit cooler than that around you. So being in the campgrounds is the best place to be.
Let me ask you now, being in the campgrounds, what are some of the things that you encounter on a day-to-day, if you don't mind, Mike?
From a day-to-day, you see a lot of, campers having a great time, sometimes having a little bit too good of a time. And that's when we have to introduce ourselves and ask them to tone it down a little bit for their neighbors. But, around here, the campers are a lot different than other parts of the country that I've worked with campers, and the campers down here do a lot better job of having a little bit of community and taking care of each other. If somebody needs something from across another campsite, they'll run across the road and grab it from somebody else. It's a very interesting community that people put together down here. But most of the stuff that we deal with is pretty simple. It's having your dog off the leash, we'll stop by and tell you to put it back on your leash, or being a little too rowdy in the evening, and we'll stop by and tell them to tone it down. Yeah. So it's pretty easy.
All right, well, very good. And you're here today, you're talking about, the community and things of that nature, and you're here today to talk about something that everybody can get involved with. And being out on the lake and going out on the lake myself sometimes, at certain times you can say, my God, where did all this come from?
Yeah.
We want to talk about National Park Land Day.
Absolutely. National Public Lands Day is probably, I would say, our most important community outreach event that we put together each year. We've held it for longer than I've been around, but it's usually at the end of September, and it's a great time for the community to come together and work as a team to improve the lake. Having this incredible resource that we have in our backyard, it's everybody's responsibility to try to upkeep it. And this event really puts forward an opportunity for everyone to come together and not only improve the lake by working on community service projects, but it also provides an opportunity for free camping. So from Friday to Sunday, we offer folks free camping at the event, and in exchange for that, we'll work from about 8:30 until noon on Saturday to do several different service projects, including painting. We'll do some shoreline cleanup. We'll do some fish habitat assembly, and other service projects around that. We're still looking for all kinds of stuff for folks to do.
Well, it's a pretty big lake, though, right?
It is.
And you definitely, and you're talking about, shoreline cleanup. And I go out from time to time and then, after a heavy rain event, you can see just so much more trash, driftwood. You see tennis balls. I've seen coolers floating out there on the lake, of course. And those are, like I say, our resource. We need to make sure that we maintain our resource, because this is a natural resource that everybody can get an opportunity. And of course, we know one group that is always present, that's the Chattahoochee River Keepers. Some other groups, if there was somebody that was watching and say, okay, well, Mike, how can I get involved? How can they get involved?
Well, I would say that the River Keepers are a big one. They're local in the community, and they do a great job of putting together cleanup events as well as fun events too. And the biggest one that we do with them happens at the beginning of the year in the spring. We call it Sweep the Hooch. And that's one event that everybody can get involved in. And other groups that participate in cleanups around the lake, if you're looking to get involved, would be your local Sierra Club. They do all kinds of cleanups throughout the year. And we have a lot of scout troops that come out and do cleanups. So there's lots of opportunity out there for groups that want to get involved.
Okay, very good. And the National Public Land Day is going to be held on September the 23rd, correct?
Yes, sir.
So talk about that and the day, how that may unfold somewhat.
Sure. So for those that are camping, which the majority of our folks that are signed up for the event currently are campers, you'll come in Friday, and we can do check-in anywhere between noon and 10 p.m. So if you want to check in right at noon, then you'll have the whole afternoon to just get set up on your campsite and enjoy holiday campground. And other than that, we'll also offer check-in at 7 a.m. on Saturday, the day of the event. And that'll run until about 9 a.m. And starting at 8:30 on Saturday is when we'll start the event. That'll be back in the group area at Kiki, and we'll have signs leading folks in to the campground on where that's exactly going to be. But we're going to have a group sign up table where we're going to sign volunteer paperwork and get that out of the way, and then we'll split everybody up into groups on what project they're going to be working on, and you can choose what project you want to work on. We'll have all that available that morning, and we'll split everybody up and get them started. We'll do that until about noon. At noon, we'll serve lunch to everybody, and that'll be provided by Wendy's. And that'll go until about 1 o'clock, and then everyone can have the rest of the afternoon to again enjoy Holiday Campground, and checkout is going to be Sunday around noon.
Oh, okay. And Holiday, we've been there, done some taping there. Beautiful campground.
Absolutely.
And you're going to have reserved spaces that will be available.
Yes, sir.
So you're not opening up the entire park.
Correct. Yes. The campsites that we're going to be utilizing for this event is going to be 61 through 112.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. And you mentioned free camping. I heard those words. Those are good words. They're free. Talk a little bit about that, the savings to the campers that register.
So our holiday campground did close yesterday for the end of our peak recreation season. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it back up for this event. Back area of campsites, we're going to open back up for this event for free camping.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. Now, and you were mentioning earlier about like the day uses. I heard you talking about that. And I'm not a camper, but I'd like to go out to the lake. So the campsites close at staggered times throughout the year. Is that to be understood, or?
Yeah. So we have two campgrounds that close on the same day. Amity and Holiday closed yesterday for the season. Whitetail Campground will remain open until October 29th.
Oh, okay.
And then our Schaefer Herd, of course, stays open all year for those that want to camp.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Now, camping, what's an average cost for campers per night?
I think right now most sites run an average of about $34.
Okay. All right. And that gets them to hook up to and various things. All right. Very good. Now, because I know like my coworker here, he has a pull behind. He goes out sometimes. And if you get a double bay, I guess we call, is that 34 for the double bay? Is it 34?
So the larger sites run a little extra.
Okay.
But they do include electric, water, all that stuff. We don't provide sewage, but we have a dump station on the way out.
Okay. Well, very good. So again, this is going to be National Public Land Day. Will be taking place on September the 23rd. Is there a cost for them to register or anything like that? I forgot to ask that, Mike.
Nope.
So no cost?
Everything is free.
Wow. Can't beat that. And then you're giving back to a resource that we all get opportunity to enjoy, to make it better for not only the persons that are there, but those that are coming behind us there as well, right?
Absolutely.
So again, Mike, if somebody's watching and they want to get involved, how can they get in touch with you to kind of register or just kind of do some projects throughout the year? How can they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So for this event, if you want to get involved, all you have to do is pre-register, and by doing that, you'll be talking to me. And to do that, you just call our office. Okay. That number is provided in all of our flyers and promotions, which I think we gave you guys a copy of.
All right.
And we'll get that put up, and it's also available on Facebook and out in the public. And
wow, looking for a big turnout, no doubt, right?
We're hoping. We're hoping.
Well, one thing for sure, the weather will start to be a lot cooler. We'll start getting into the fall of the year, so the weather will be more cooperative than a few weeks ago when we had those 100+ degree temperatures. So
yeah.
I'm sure you definitely will have a great turnout, and it's for a great cause once again. And I just want to say thank you for coming on and sharing this information, Mike.
Absolutely.
And I know that the public, like you have seen already, say this is a good caring community. The public will come out because the lake, the lake is a great resource here in our backyard, as you stated. So thank you very much for being my guest today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week coming up in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again. You know, we always like to find out what's happening in and around LaGrange, and who always brings us a great lineup is none other than Lynne Holle over at Visit LaGrange. So Lynne, let's hear all about it.
Thank you, Alton. Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about the events that will be happening in and around LaGrange during the week of September 11th through September 17th. Let's get started. We've got a lot to cover. Monday, September 11th, beginning at 9 a.m., LaGrange Fire Department's 11th annual stair climb at Callaway Stadium. The LaGrange Fire Department is hosting its 2023 9/11 Annual Memorial Stair Climb Challenge Monday, September 11th, 9 a.m. at Callaway Stadium. The public is invited to join the LaGrange Fire Department for this event. The entry fee is $25 per person, cash or check only, and it includes a 9/11 tribute t-shirt. Registration will begin the day of the event at 8 a.m. All proceeds will go to the Terry Farrell Firefighter Fund. Participants will walk or run 110 stadium steps up and 110 stadium steps down at Callaway Stadium. There were 110 flights of stairs in the Twin Towers. LaGrange Fire Department Chief Willie Bradfield said, "It's important we never forget the events of that day." Friday, September 15th at Sweetland Amphitheater, Leanne Rhymes, The Story, So Far Tour with special guest Dave's Highway. The show starts at 8 p.m., but the gates open at 6:30. Leanne has sold more than 48 million units globally, has won 2 Grammy Awards, 12 Billboard Music Awards, 2 World Music Awards, 3 Academy of Country Music Awards, 2 Country Music Association Awards, and 1 Dove Award. At 14, she won the Best New Artist, making her the youngest solo artist to take home a Grammy Award. At 15, she became the first country artist to win Artist of the Year at the Billboard Music Awards. Don't miss it. Grab your tickets today. For tickets, go to sweetlandamp.com. Saturday, September 16th, beginning at 8 and running through 12 p.m., the Multi-Vendor Yard Sale. at second time around. Needing to clean out the attic, closet, or storage space? Mark your calendars and start boxing up those treasured items and join us for a multi-vendor yard sale. 12 by 12 spaces for rent at $30, a refund of $10 when you close and leave the space clean. Spaces will be marked off on the front lawn. Anyone and everyone is welcome to join us. Interested individuals will email us at secondtimearoundoffice@gmail.com. Please let them know by September 13th if you're going to participate. Saturday, September 16th from 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Doing the Rot Thing at Hills and Dales. Vegetable scraps and yard waste make up a significant portion of what goes into landfills, yet they could easily be composted and used to improve our gardens and landscapes dramatically and quickly. Horticulturist Tina Elrod will instruct participants on the basic ins and outs of composting, as well as simple how-to methods that can be duplicated back home. During a hands-on portion, attendees will team up and practice adding materials to begin a new compost pile. Participants will leave with a sample of compost made at the estate that can be used as a starter for a pile at their home. The cost is $45 per person. Workshop fees include supplies and refreshments. Space is limited and pre-registration is required. Please call 706-882-3242 or email info@hillsanddales.org to register. Annual members receive a 20% discount unless otherwise noted. Sunday, September 17th at Sweetland Amphitheater, Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder with special guest Cindy Morgan. The show begins at 7 p.m., doors open at 5:30. Note the time change from the Friday concert. 15-time Grammy Award winner Ricky Skaggs' career is easily among the most significant in recent country music history. If Skaggs' trophy case full of awards wasn't already enough evidence of that fact, consider that legendary guitarist Chet Atkins once credited Skaggs with single-handedly saving country music. His life's path has taken him to various musical genres, from where it all began in bluegrass music to striking out on new musical journeys, while still leaving his musical roots intact. In the past decade, he has been honored with inductions into the Gospel Music Association's Gospel Music Hall of Fame and the Musicians Hall of Fame. In 2018, a landmark year, Skaggs was also awarded membership into the National Fiddler Hall of Fame, the IBMA Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame, and country music's greatest honor, the Country Music Hall of Fame. Most recently, he was awarded the prestigious National Medal of Arts in 2020 for his contributions to the American music industry. For tickets, go to sweetlandamp.com. Alton, those are just a few of the events that will be happening in and around LaGrange during the week of September 11th through the 17th. We hope everybody will get out, have some fun, stay safe.
Lynn, thank you for that. And I know with the weather getting cooler, people will come out and enjoy all of the festivities. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining City Week this week. My guests have been from the Army Corps of Engineers. I had on Park Ranger Mike Linville as he talked about the upcoming National Public Land Day that will be taking place on September the 23rd. Starting at 8:30 a.m. and going up until noon. So by all means, if you want to come out and take part in this, come on out, have a great time, and I'm sure you'll enjoy a great lunch from Wendy's. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed this interview, and as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.